No rest for the wicked over in the Vanarama National League, as of course the final whistles are still ringing in my ears from Saturday's matches. But we've got a whole full fixture list coming at you on Monday, with of course Dagenham and Redbridge still leading the charge at the top of the table. Will they still be there at the end of the day? Of course, we'll take a look at that and more next. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. We're looking forward to match number 3 in the AKA Vanarama National League. That's right, the non-league football, boys and girls, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe and get your back into the all things Vanarama League related, Blackburn Rose related, world football related. We got to know here. Under one Rooski, that's right. Of course, some of the big boys had a bit of a hiccup. Of course, Notts County dropped some points. But of course, the first win of the campaign for Deadpool FC. We're taking a look at all of that in just a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons. Do appreciate the loan. Thank you for your support, of course, and all that kind of jazz. But if you are interested in supporting the channel, check out those links down below. So here we go, boys. We're going to go look back, of course, my picks, and then, of course, take a look at your situation over in the Prediction League. So let's get into it. Then we're going to jump in the deep end, of course, match number 3. So here we go. Go back then, shall we, of course, from Saturdays. So, of course, it is still Saturday. It's heading into 9 PM on Saturday night. Going to get these ones out there for you for Monday. So let's get into it. Of course, Boreham against Aldershot. Actually went in favour of Boreham. That one 1-0 in the end. Actually went the 2-0 win going the other way, so shame on me. I did get Dagenham Redbridge close to the money on that one. Against Bromley, 4-2 win in the end. I went with the 2-1 win, you double it, and that's what you got in the end. Wrexham got the first win, 2-0 win on the road, of course, in Eastleigh. So Deadpool FC and Ryan Reynolds and co should be happy with that one. Of course, Chesterfield, though, also kept up a heat. Of course, I think that's 6 from 6 as well at the top of the table. 2-0 win over Wealdstone FC, 3-0 win for me. Meanwhile, Woking lost at home, 3-2 in the end to Halifax. I went with a draw on that one. Kicking off further, Grimsby also got themselves their first win of the campaign with a 1-0 win over Weymouth. I went with a 2-0 win myself. Maidenhead United beat Dover Athletic 2-0, put Dover in a bit of trouble already at the foot of the table. Maidenhead with a big win as well. I went with a 1-0 win myself. That's pretty much it for me prediction wise. Notts County, though, I went with a 3-1 win. They could only muster a draw against Torquay. Solihull also could only muster a 1-1 draw over Barnet, which is a bit of a surprise there. Southend United did lose at home, of course, down the route sold to Stockport County. I went with a 2-2 draw, and of course Kings Lynn picked up an away day win over Yeovil. I actually went with the 1-0 win for the hosts. So as you can see, I got myself 5, which is pretty shit. So let's take a look at the table then, shall we? Of course, Dagenham Redbridge lead the charge. Of course, level on points with Chesterfield, Maidenhead United and Boreham Wood. Of course, Notts County Wrexham not too far away either down the foot of the table. It is Dover Athletic. They're on -12, so they're already on their way out. So they've got a bit of a Houdini act if they're going to get themselves out of this one at the end of the campaign. But of course, a long way to go to see how they get on. Of course, at the end of the season. Let's kick on forward. We'll take a look at, of course, the Prediction League. These are, of course, the winners for this week. Of course, the winning number was just 8. MCO back alongside Shadow Ninja and Gaming Charlie kicking us to take names at the top of the table for week number 2. Combine those with week number 1, and this is what you got with, of course, at the top table. It's Gaming Charlie with 12. Shadow Ninja's up there with 12 as well. Alex Weller, Nana Cam, Russell Frost, Connor Medlin, MCO back in the top 3, the bronze medal position. Of course, it is still early days. Make sure you get your name right. Have a quick scan. I think everyone is playing the game right. I can't see any double wells on this one, so well done to you guys so far. Anyway, let's kick forward then and take a look at match number 3, of course, coming at you right here, right now on Monday. Now, we do have a static link now for these prediction leagues. So for the non-league, and from here on in, it'll be cut.ly/non-league. That's it. You type that in, it'll bring you into the kind of like a blog page for the non-league. Then the most recent will be on the top of that. Of course, you can scroll down, you can have a look at the rest of them, but the most recent, including this one, which will be match number 3, should be on top of this one, so get in amongst it as well. It might get a little bit tricky when there's I don't know, international stuff and all that, but of course, just get into it, of course, keep the name as you were. Of course, let's jump in the deep end and take a look at the games that do take place this coming Monday. That's right, it's no rest for the wicked. It is right on our heels. I don't have the greatest odds on this one. We're going to jump in the deep end anyway and have a little look at it, shall we? So kick it on forward. We have Aldershot taking, of course, Yeovil. Take place, of course, this Monday, 30th of August. They played the 4 times in 2019. 2 wins for Yeovil, 1 win for Aldershot, and 1 draw. The biggest win for Aldershot over Yeovil was a 2-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. Last time they played in Aldershot was a 2-0 win for Aldershot back in May May 2021. Last time that Yeovil picked up a win in Aldershot was back in 2019, 3-1 win as well. So far so good for any of these two sides? Not really. Of course, Yeovil back-to-back, or actually just the one loss for them. They only played the one game so far for Yeovil. Aldershot back-to-back defeats for them, so not looking good at the moment for them as they try to get into this. Of course, I have maybe indications of some odds on this one. We are looking potentially at Yeovil being the favourites on the road. I think that's where I'm going with. That's where I've gone with the draw myself on this one, 1-1 in the end. Bromley, they're taking on Eastleigh, of course, also on the same day as this one, of course, on Monday. Is it bank holiday in England? I don't even know. Played each other 27 times in 2007. 6 wins for Bromley, 16 wins for Eastleigh, and 5 draws. The biggest win for Bromley over Eastleigh was a 5-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-0 win. Of course, heading into this, last time I played each other over in Bromley was a 2-1 win for Eastleigh, that's right. There hasn't been a home win since 2018 when Eastleigh did pick up a win over Bromley 1-0 back in the day. Of course, heading into this, Bromley, well, they're looking at, again, just played the one match for them as well, just one match for them, and of course opened up with a defeat, as have Eastleigh. So both of these two sides coming in looking for the first points of the campaign. Again, I do have marginal odds, and I can tell you right here right now, Bromley are the favourites at home on this one, and of course the draw and the away win are very narrow odds. So Bromley are your favourites, but I'm going to go with Eastleigh on this one. Again, it's still trying to find your feet. Who is good, who is bad, and who is going home, of course. The next one we have, of course, Dover up against Boreham Wood. I think it's going to be a little bit one-sided on this one. Those are the 19 times since 2010. 5 wins for Dover, 9 wins for Boreham Wood, and 5 draws. The biggest win for Dover over Boreham Wood was a 1-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-0 win. In fact, Boreham Wood have scored 35 goals compared to the 19 scored by Dover over the course of those 19 matches. Heading into this, of course, last time in Dover was a 1-1 draw back in January 2021. Dover haven't won since 2018. It was in Boreham Wood, and of course it was back in November, back in the day. Of course, heading into this, though, Boreham Wood, 2 wins from 2 and yet to concede a goal, beating, of course, Weymouth and Aldershot. Meanwhile, Dover come to this on the back of a 2-0 loss against Maidenhead, their only game of this campaign so far. But of course, they've got the -12. They're in a bit of trouble already, and I think it's going to continue with a 2-1 loss on this one, going in favour of Boreham Wood. To give you the odds on that one just briefly before we go into the next one, heavily backed as your Boreham Wood. They are your favourites on this one. Next we have Barnet. They're going to be taking on, of course, Dagenham and Redbridge. Of course, we're kicking out ticket names at the moment. Played each other 25 times in 2002, 9 wins for Barnet, 10 wins for Dagenham. Of course, 6 draws. The biggest win for Barnet over Dagenham was a 5-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-1 win. Last time they played each other, of course, in Barnet was a 2-0 win for Dagenham, of course. Last time it was a home win on this was back in 2018. It was Barnet's win over Dagenham back in the day. Of course, heading into this, Barnet, just the 1 point so far, picked up a draw on the road against Solihull. Meanwhile, back-to-back wins for Dagenham. It's scored 7 goals in the course of 2 games, so they're looking very, very good in front of goal. The odds on this one, Dagenham are your favourites despite them being on the road on this one. I think I've gone with, oh my god, I've gone with Barnet on this one. I think I've gone with an upset. I don't know what I'm thinking, but realistically I think you should back Dagenham, but again, I could be wrong. Weymouth up against Maidenhead. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, locking horns on the same day as everybody else. Played at the same time since 2005. 4 wins for Weymouth, 1 win for Maidenhead, 2 draws. The biggest win for Weymouth was a 4-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-0 win. Last time I played in Weymouth was a 2-1 win for Weymouth back in April 2021, of course. Actually played each other twice at home in Weymouth last season. In fact, they played 3 times in total, Weymouth winning all of them. That is correct on this one. Heading into this, of course, Weymouth, back-to-back defeats for them, losing to Boreham Wood and losing to Grimsby, yet to score a goal, as to Maidenhead. But on the flip side, of course, back-to-back wins for them, 2-1 win over Halifax on over today, and a big 2-0 win over Dover as well. We'll have a look at the odds on this one, I'm sure. It's going to be the away team will be your favourites, Maidenhead, on this one. I'm trying to find it. It is. It's actually home favourites going with Weymouth, 2.5 to 2.75 odds. So Weymouth are your favourites. That's where I'm going with the one they win as well on this one again. It's bold moves by myself in the old hot seat, of course. Next, of course, Halifax down up against Altrincham then, shall we? Of course, played each other 19 times, 2005, 8 wins for Halifax, 5 wins for Altrincham and 6 draws. The biggest win for Halifax over Altrincham was a 5-2 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-1 win. Heading into this, Altrincham are on pretty good form, 92% form compared to the 42% form for Halifax. They actually won twice in the past 3 games in all competitions. Last time played each other over in Halifax was a 3-2 win for Halifax. In fact, they are unbeaten against Altrincham for the past 5 matches. They've they've won 4 of the past 5. The only other one was a draw. That was, of course, back in 2016. Of course, heading into Halifax, 1-1 lost to Maidenhead. Beat Woking last round. Altrincham back to, or at least one win for them on the campaign. I do have a little bit of an indication for the odds on this one. Altrincham are your underdogs. Halifax Town are your red hot favourites, and that's where I'm going with the 2-1 win for Halifax on this one. Next up, Kings Lynn against Chesterfield. One-way traffic, you would imagine, on this one. Played each other 2 times since 2021. 2 wins out of 2 for Chesterfield, including a 2-1 win last round in Kings Lynn. That was back in April 2021. Of course, heading into this Kings Lynn, picking up 1-1 lost one. Of course, lost to Southend at home. Picked up a win against Yeovil on the road. As for Chesterfield, back-to-back wins. 2-0 win against Wealdstone. 2-0 win against Aldershot. Of course, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets, 6 points on the board. Of course, let's take a look at the odds on this one. Of course, who is the favourite? It will be Chesterfield. Of course, they're heavily fancied on this one, on the way from home on this one, and that's where I'm going as well. I'm going with the Chesterfield win. 2 to win, another clean sheet, and another 2 to win in the bag. Next up, of course, Stockport County up against Grimsby. This is a big one, of course. It's not the biggest match. This one actually takes place on Tuesday, the 31st of August. Played each other 21 times since 1998. 10 wins for Stockport, 5 wins for Grimsby, 6 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Stockport over Grimsby, 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 7-0 win. Oh, wow. In fact, they've scored 28 goals though, Grimsby over Stockport. They've scored 31 over, of course, Grimsby in the course of the 21 matches since 1998. That 7-0 was back in the National League back in November 2011. Last time they played in Stockport was a 2-1 win for Grimsby back in 2013, again in the National League. Southend come to this back-to-back defeats for them. They're finding life in the non-league. In fact, hold on. It's actually 1-1 lost one for Stockport. They've had an okay start. Dagenham, of course, being a tricky wicket. Meanwhile, Grimsby cut themselves off to a flyer with the first 1-1 out of play. Played just the one, of course, for Grimsby. So far, so good for them. I'll have a look at the odds on this one then, shall we? What do we have on the odds on this one? Stockport. It is a home favourites, of course, your Stockport County on this one. That's where I'm going with as well, with a 2-1 win to take it to the house. Into the final 3 now. We have Torquay United up against Woking. Let's get into this one also. This one's on the 30th of August. They played each other 22 times in 2007. 8 wins apiece, 6 draws, and they're both biggest wins over each other. Was a 4-1 win. Wow. Heading into this last time, played each other over in Torquay. Was a 1-0 win for Torquay back in April 2021. Of course, coming into this, Torquay just a 1 point so far for them this season. Picked up a draw against Notts County just today. Of course, they did lose to Altrincham on opening day. Meanwhile, their opposition, Woking, of course, coming to this on the back of of a defeat, 3-2 loss to Halifax Town, but they did open up the campaign with a win over Wealdstone. Of course, the bookies' odds on this one going in favour of Torquay, red hot favourites on this one, and I've gone with the red hot favourites as well, with Torquay United to take the hat to the house. Here we go to the final 2 now. We have Wealdstone. They're going to be taking, of course, Southend United. That's right, been down Wealdstone, been down that neck of the woods. They've never played each other. This will be the first time, of course, locking horns, but they're both coming to this on 50% form. Back-to-back defeats though for Wealdstone. Southend coming to this with a 1-1 loss, one sort of mentality. However, Southend did open their campaign with a win, a 1-0 win over Kings Lynn on the road. Meanwhile, they did lose at home at Roots Hall against Stockport County, who are the bigger boys in the grand scheme of things. As for their opposition, Wealdstone, back-to-back defeats for them, losing to Chesterfield today, and of course losing to Woking on opening day. Of course, I would fancy on this one, of course, Southend to get a result. The bookies see it that way as well. Strongly fancied our Southend on this one. I'm going to go with a away win on this, 1-0 in the end. And then we have a bit of a zinger at the end. This probably televised, this one. It's Wrexham up against Notts County, of course, over in Wales. That's right, of course, these two sides played each other 12 times in 2003. 3 wins for Wrexham, 7 wins for Notts County, and 2 draws. The biggest win over each other was a 1-0 win. Of course, last time they played each other over in Notts County, guess what, was a 1-0 win, but we're actually playing in Wales. Last time they played each other in Wales was a 1-0 win for Notts County. In fact, Notts County unbeaten the last 3 matches against Wrexham. Last time Wrexham picked a win was in 2008 in League 2. That's right, Wrexham have been out of their top flight since those days. Of course, heading into this, both sides are unbeaten. Both sides picking up the same amount of points, 1-1 and drew 1 as well, so 4 points on the board for both of them. This could go either way, but I'm going to go with Deadpool FC on this one. They are actually fancied on this one over Notts County, but of course I do anticipate both of them to be in the top 5 at the end of the season anyway. 3-1 win for Wrexham. In the end, boys and girls, that's my picks. Let me know your thoughts, of course, as we edge into match number. This will be match number 3. Of course, match number 4 will be on the weekend as well. So make sure you get your picks in as well. And to do that, you've got to use the static link right here, cut.ly/non-league. It's there for your leisure. Get involved if you fancy some non-league. Get involved if you want a bit of fun with some predictions. But until then, see you soon. Thanks for watching. Smash your thumbs up. Smash your subscribe. I'll see you soon for the next one. And of course, it's still my birthday, so I'm going to go and have some fun. Until then, we're done.